Hey everybody and welcome back. In today's video I'm going to do a really quick overview of if-then functionality. Now I'm not just covering this in AppGyver, which is the platform I'm using right here. I'm going to show a real-world example using Python, which is a programming language. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out by visualizing this and then go into more real-world applications. So the idea here is if something, then something. But then you also have the second part of that, which is basically what happens if that's not true. So if we were to say 2 plus 2 equals 4, and say if the answer is 4, say correct. If it's false, say wrong. Then that's a very, very simple example, and we're going to try to expand on using this logic here. So what we're going to do is you're going to see this example of this app here. Now if I type a letter, it automatically appears over here. So it's pretty straightforward with how that works. Now we're going to add a button, and it's going to have an if-then condition. So what we're going to do is we're going to type this out together because I'm going to make it pretty straightforward. So what we're going to do is we're going to tie this if-then condition to a page variable. This page variable is actually going to be the page variable right here. So you'll see if the content is going to be a variable, and that's going to match our if-then condition. So basically, to visualize this, you'll see that the way that it works in AppGyver specifically, your outputs, you have these two. So if it's true, do this top action. If it's false, do this bottom action. So then what we can do is we can actually decide what we want to do from here. So as you can see on this side over here, there's tons of different options. But what I'm going to opt to do is we're going to have two different conditions here. And what we'll do is we're going to set the first one, and we're actually going to have it change that variable just like the bottom one. So the first one, if it's true, we're going to assign the value, we'll just say correct. And if it's false, then we will assign the value false. Now we're just going to expand on this if-then condition really quickly, and we'll just say if it equals, and then we have any number of options here. So what we're going to do is we can actually put text here and say if it's hey, then it'll be correct. If it's not hey, it'll be false. So let's just try to run this very quickly. So the page should refresh, and I can type in something like HE and click check. You'll see it now says false, and it changes it in both places. But now I'm going to type in hey and click check, and you'll see now it says correct in both areas. So the idea here is the text matches, and this button is just checking to see if what we're typing is correct. Now, what makes this such powerful functionality is you can actually add in tons of different functionality. So you're not just limited to one if-then statement. You can say if it's true, then maybe you want to trigger another if-then statement. So up here, you could have an if-then statement, which then links to another one, and so on. So you can do a lot more with this than just that. Now, to give you an example in Python, I'll show you these options here, which don't have a user interface, which is why I wanted to visualize it first. So you'll see we have two options. This first one up here says if Sunny is true, then we're going to print go for a walk, otherwise stay inside and read a book. So very, very straightforward, similar to the example we just had. We have our true, we have our false. But you'll see we have a complicated option with more options. So you'll see that we have day of the week, which is basically a variable. And we're saying it's Tuesday. And then you have this if condition. So you may wonder why it's saying Tuesday up here and all these options down here. This would end up being something specified within your app, or maybe it's the option that your user is typing in right here. Either way, that's what you're basically validating against down here. So in this case, Tuesday would be this option here, so it's going to print second day of the week. So that's just another quick example. There are tons of other examples about this, but if you have any questions, drop them in the comment box below, and I'll see you all in the next video.